and effort. We have with us Dr. Raghunandan Jagdish, the Managing Director of Nandan GSE. Dr. Raghu, as he is fondly known, is a visionary leader renowned for his contributions across industries, including aviation, defense, logistics, and bulk handling. Today, Dr. Raghu will share his insights on how Nandan GSE's innovative solutions have transformed the material handling in Indian companies with a particular focus on warehousing and logistics. Once again, welcome to this insightful session. Without further ado, I would like to invite Dr. Raghunandan Jagdish to unlock the secrets that drive productivity through material handling. Dr. Raghu, the stage is all yours.
Great. Thank you so much. Am I audible clearly? Okay, great. So I'm Raghu. I'd like to begin with a little, joke. This is how engineering life works. So what you see out here is what the customer described to sales, and when it got budgeted through the purchase and other people, this is what they budgeted for. When the engineer actually designed it, this is what they designed. When wanted to put it up, they used their own, creativity, and that is how they manufactured it. Then, while marketing was making an ad for it, etc., that is how they showed it. What got documented is roughly nothing. When the customer finally received it, this is what he got. But the billing to the customer was done like this. But really speaking, what the customer wanted was a tire to move around and get back. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. With that little joke, I thought it was quite funny when I saw it. So I thought, let's begin with. But here, what I'm going to talk about is in the field of, logistics that pretty much involves everybody. Every factory, every operation will involve logistics in some way or the other, and the warehousing, of course. So how we can drive productivity through efficient material handling systems. I would like to, welcome all the people who came on a busy afternoon. Thank you so much for all joining in. Of course, JNG, Ashish Apte joining in, I think from Noida all the way. Kedar, Karthik, Madhuri, Kannanji was the head of LNT marketing for HED. Pradeep Gupta ji, Rahul Raja, great. So nice to see you time. And let me just, start talking to you about discussion. So just a little view about what Nandan does so that you get a context as to why we wish to do this. We're always working to question the norms. We are looking to transform our customers' aspirations into the inspiration that we can do so that India can be a $5 trillion economy. I definitely believe in the vision of what's being talked about, and all of us can contribute in our own little way. We are placed in a place called Navi Mumbai. It's about 20 kilometers from the port, 20 kilometers from the airport. A team of 250 people. All of us are empowered. All of thinking of growth as well as being very, very. I am sharing a screen. Is everybody seeing a screen or not? Can I just get a response out? Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I think whoever.
Yeah, we can see the screen.
We can hear you and we can see the screen also.
Whoever can't hear,
please continue.
Check your systems once. We do a lot of systems for aviation, defense, truck loading, material handling, and I believe people are key to everything, and people are also the key to roadblocks whenever they come up. So if handled properly, the human resource of India, that's 1.4 billion people, can really, really take us to the next level and become a bigger global power than we already are. And Modi alone cannot do the magic. All of us need to contribute into that. Improving productivity, performance, and safety of customers is key at whatever we do. We are always saving money, time, and effort. So that's where we come across new solutions to handle the customer's problems. And the excellence that we bring forth in execution and delivery is the reason why customers build lifelong relationships with us. That's some, little view of what the factory looks like. We make in India, make for the world, because we've already gone to 25 countries. We work in about 80 industries, but all of them are common in the theme of high quality products used for lifting and handling. So with that little introduction, this is not a sales pitch. I would like to add value to your operations in life by giving you a few ideas that you can implement into your own operations. So first things first is that, bottlenecks. Can somebody put into the chat what exactly is a bottleneck and what is it that you understand from a bottleneck? I don't mean the neck of the bottle, of course, but the bottleneck in your operations. Can somebody put it up on the chat? What do you think of, it means? Come on. This is not a one-way street. I would like for interactions. Do a little, interaction on the chat. And towards the end, you can, of course, unmute yourself, ask questions, and we can take that up. I'll make it interesting. I'll try to complete my part by about 14:35, and the rest of the time will be for question answers. Kaam ruk jata hai, fantastic, Bharat bhai. Dinesh Singh says constraints, yes, absolutely. Challenges. Ashish Apte says something which hampers you from moving ahead and you get stuck up. Exactly that. So the biggest example of a bottleneck you can imagine is your traffic jam. You can build a 8-lane highway, but if at the traffic signal there is a bottleneck, the pileup can occur for like kilometers and kilometers together. Then the whole productivity and output is stopped. And end of the day, everybody wants throughput, right? So to identify some bottlenecks, I've gone across and looked at different places where bottlenecks occur. The first and most important is the loading and unloading zones in the factory, because factory, warehouse, operations, wherever you're looking at, these bottlenecks definitely occur when the truck gets loaded or unloaded. And if it is not handled, it could lead to a lot of bottlenecks. There are a lot of material transfer points. So within a warehouse or a factory, there are interface where you move it from one system to another system. These can be bottlenecks. So an example could again be that you have a very fast conveyor, but at the end of it, your output doesn't happen, which again, in the case of a flight, the flight comes in, lands, they're able to get the bags out. But if one trolley is stuck somewhere, the entire operation is stuck. So an example to take that forward, there's a lot of material movement that happens vertically within factories. So when you do vertical movement within factories, that's when you can have a lot of restriction on time that it gets stuck. You have storage areas. So this again was an actual example of a picture I took, and with the client's permission, I would not name him, of course. But you can have great racks, you can have good pallets, but if the system is not well maintained, it will lead to a lot of chaos. You have sections and crossings. So wherever there is a X or a cross that happens, there is going to be bottlenecks that occur at those places. Wherever you have manual handling, you will have possibilities of bottlenecks. Ergonomics plays a very important role. How the man bends, how the man places, whether he's going to drop it, will really determine your throughput. So in order to mitigate that, for you to do a study on your manual handling is very, very important. Of course, equipments can break down. Let me tell you, this is not a Nandan product, and this is the real picture coming from a client who definitely saved some money by not coming to us, but to a manufacturer who gave him a cheap product. But that's what happens. Your equipment can break down, can lead to your supply chain getting impacted. It can lead to a lot of loss of productivity, injuries, or maybe even life. So you need to be very careful while investing into your equipments. So these are all the problems that occur. Of course, there could be a lot more, which if you have any problems, do feel free to put it into the chat. I will look at it. But let me give you some ideas on what technologies are available for improving your handling, both for your logistics and your warehousing operations. So here we are. Okay, so if you break this down into 4 parts. So the 4 parts are, you can look at your in-plant, your loading dock, which is your truck interface areas, your process that is within your factory, whatever happens, and your delivery of the goods. That is, when you deliver the items, what takes place there. So if you break this up into these 4 parts and we look at, the in-plant solutions that occur, the commonest is your pallet truck. This is a very, very inexpensive item, costing as low as maybe 14 to 20,000, depending upon what you buy. And pallets cost as low as 800 to 2,000 rupees. And if you use that, one person can now start moving 1,000 kilos. So, which is 1 ton pallet. Whereas when you carry things with a hand, you can maximum lift about 50 kgs, or if you are inhuman, you can put 75 kgs gunny bag on the people's back and call them hamals, and okay to do that. But otherwise, 50 kgs is the max that a human should be, able to lift. But with this small equipment costing so little, you can really multiply that up. So if whoever has a warehousing or a logistic operation, this is the first and most important stuff that you should put in. Next, you have battery operated stackers. These are battery operated that can take things up and down. You can move them. The same thing with the pallet truck happens with the battery. You can get that going. You have different kinds of floor cranes. So when we look at cranes in India, we all look at a Hydra and call it a crane. But Hydra is a huge, massive equipment. But you do have floor cranes which are very small and compact. One person can stand here and operate it with a battery. You got a hook in the front which you can lift up and down and move and maneuver and put it up. So then when you want to move material within your factory, let's say vertically up and down in more efficiency, you can think about hydraulic goods lifts. You can think about hydraulic scissor lifts, which take the material to different levels, right? So these are your in-plant operations. A hydraulic goods lift is nothing but like a lift. It doesn't have a rope or a chain. It doesn't need an RCC cabin like a typical lift does. You can make this with different kinds of cabins. You can make it open. You can make it with wire mesh. But ultimate aim is that it is taking things vertically up and down without the need for a ramp and without the need for any man to lift it up and down. So you can explore. We've done goods lifts as high as 5,000 kilos in capacity and as tall as 22 meters. In fact, we did one more, which was a 10-ton lift, but that was not hydraulic. That was a hoist, which was carrying 10 tons at the naval dockyard where they used to repair ships, So typical hydraulic lift would look like this, where you have different, again, we work with the customer's budgets. So depending upon what you need, we can always upscale it for you. You can even do it with a touchscreen PLC. You can do, these are called vertical telescopic gates. They're much safer than horizontal. And then the lift can go up and down. So like you can see, in this case, the customer has made a shaft, but it's not really required. The load is all taken by the beams, which are kept separately out like this. So these hydraulic lifts can be customized to your requirement. We can make them at the factory, install it at your location, and we can multiply them. Right. You also have truck loading, unloading opportunities where if you want to go L-shaped, so typically the truck used to come, perpendicular to the factory, but now it's parallel to the factory. The forklift comes in, lifts up, and then you can drive inside. The lift is big enough for the forklift to also rotate. So what this does is that you don't have a ramp. So instead of a ramp which goes in a slope, you can have an accident. Instead of that, you're able to move things horizontally. Very, very safe. There are different systems for loading an entire load into a container. So this is called I will show this to you sometime later. So this is called a load plate, where the entire load is made outside using a forklift. It will get a pallet, keep it there, and keep everything ready. Then the truck comes in, and you can push this entire plate in one shot to the container. So in 5 minutes, you can load an entire truck. We have lifts which go to heights of up to 16, 17 meters too, right? Whoever handles bulk cargo, I think this is not really the forum for bulk cargo, but for bulk cargo, there is a device called a container tilter. This can pick the container from the truck, make it go vertical and fill it up. And then, the truck can be filled with a 30-ton material all over again. So benefit is no packaging cost required, no material movement multiply. and very easy to unload. So at the unloading end, you just tilt it to the other side, it will fall into a hopper, and then a conveyor can take it up. So this is especially important for people like, who handle minerals, CP coke, sugar, and such logistics. So, do let us know in the chat box. We'll definitely get in touch with you. Most of you will have the problem, and what you wrote initially in the questionnaire itself, when I looked it up, was that you have problems at your loading dock. So at the loading dock, one solution is the scissor lift. Of course, you can make this from 50 kgs to 50,000 kilos. The biggest we have made is 50 tons, in which a fully loaded truck and container can come on, and that can be taken multiple levels. So this is one option. The other one is called a truck loader, and I will show you examples of all of these actually. Right. So this is called a truck loader. Like you can see, this factory doesn't have this warehouse. Typically is the warehouse of the factory. It doesn't have a loading dock. So what has happened is, this is a French company in a small town called Manipal, close to Udupi in Karnataka. So they were loading this manually. So we went in and we designed a portable truck loading system in which somebody with a pallet can just come, push it. You can lift it up. When it comes to the level of the truck, you can just transfer the whole pallet into the truck or the container. So just imagine if this had to happen manually, it would have taken them 2 hours and about 6 people to do the same operation. And then this guy goes and gets the other pallet and takes it up. So with 2 people, they're able to load an entire truck in about half an hour. So, and you don't need a dock. And I don't know whether you observed this. This has wheels, right? So the system actually has wheels. In the evening, 2 people can push it to another corner and take it away. So if you're renting a warehouse, which most of you do, you'll not be allowed to do a lot of civil work there. So this is a great opportunity where you can move it from one place to another place, one factory to another factory, and get going. It's very inexpensive, and you have anywhere between 1 ton minimum and 10 tons maximum. That means a big forklift with a lot of material can also be taken inside. Right. This is a very interesting video I would like to show you, which kind of showcases that within a warehouse, how everything works. So the range is right from unloading at the dock. So your truck reverses, you have, a marshal will tell you to stop. There is a scissor lift that will go to the height of the truck, which no dock is required. From that scissor lift, you can take a pallet truck or a battery operated pallet truck, incorporate multiple in-feed conveyors as required. So this again could be either automated or somebody could operate it with buttons. This can be going all over the factories. We of course don't make conveyors, but we'll be more than glad to suggest good conveyor manufacturers. These are called workstations where the material can be taken to different levels. That's a scissor lift with a bellow. So it can go to a different level and you can unload it there. So again, no manual handling is required. You can automate this again by interfacing your conveyor. This is called a palletizer. So the pallet is entirely made without a man lifting a box. And same thing happens out at the loading end, where the truck gets loaded using multiple systems. So this is something that we are just going to launch out into the market. So you're one of the first people to see it. So what a forklift loading a truck is so slow, and it is so dangerous because the person is going forward, reverse, back, front. So a container can just come. The sensor is there. It will automatically lift it or lower it and get it to the exact height. This comes out, enters into the pallets all over, right? And once it enters in, it can be lifted and the entire pallet stack is taken out. So the truck can be empty in about 3 to 5 minutes. Can go, and then again you can automate internally. So if this is something that we are really thinking that the high throughput deliveries will be what is required, that will go into this. When you need to deliver the goods, you do have 2 technologies that we are again experts in. One is called a hydraulic column tail lift, which can get mounted in the back of every truck. So everybody who's in logistics today has a fleet of 100, 200, 300 trucks. But if some of them you do install with this, just imagine what is the value of solutioning you do to a customer. We just did this in a customer's fleet of 11 trucks. Due to NDAs, of course, I can't name them. And earlier, the kind of breakdowns and breakages and speed reduction, demotivation by the people used to happen. But after this came in, they were able to do everything so efficiently and so fast. The other one is called a truck mounted crane, right? It's a knuckle boom crane. So it folds up in the front in a space of about 1.5 meters. And then when it's opened, you can pick the material from the ground and just keep it on the truck itself. So to just see how it looks, this is how the operations look like. Okay, let me not confuse you. Let me play one by one. So in the tail lift, which is mounted in the back of any truck, we can also give it to you as a kit. So not necessary that the truck has to come to our factory. We can come to your location and fit the units. So this is a use case for an oxygen cylinder delivery. So by the way, now in India, almost every customer is using Nandan's column tail lifts for oxygen. You have very simple operations. Like you see, you don't need to be a PhD to operate it. It's got very simple operations with pictograms and very rugged controls. Then you can take it up. It goes to the upper limit, and then you can unload your truck out, right? So this is a tail lift which operates there. Then once it is done, you would of course close it like this. You can use it for logistics, animals, gas cylinders, pallets, etc. Now this is called a knuckle boom crane. So KBC is knuckle boom crane. This can go from a minimum of 5-ton meter. That is from a distance of 5 meters, you can pick up 1 ton, or from a distance of 2.5 meters, you can pick 2 tons. To a big crane of almost 40-ton meter, Nandan has delivered the biggest knuckle boom crane in Indian defense of a 40-ton meter, which is being used by the Navy to lift torpedoes. So this is to reduce your manpower. It's very easy to operate by remote control on both sides. This is a manual remote control. You can also do it with a wireless remote control if you do have the budget. And it's made of high strength steel, can be pick and drop all together. So this is a important way. So what we bring on board is that we have something called audit visit, which we offer complimentary. So when you do reply to us and when you do write to us, our team will discuss with you to explore different options that can help in your productivity enhancements. So be it any factory, be it logistics, be it whatever kind of trucks you have, I'm sure we'll add little value, and the ROI, the return of investment for you should be infinite. You know why? Because it is one divide. I mean, whatever is the value you get divided by 0, which is kind of infinity. So we will, reach out to you. We would do a site survey. We would understand. We'll give you a report that helps you to make some choices, make a budget, etc. Then we get into the design after we get the order. We do the kickoff, we do the manufacturing, installation, we do a dispatch plan. So even like you can see, my engineers get into a method where we predict for the customer how many trucks will be required, etc. We do project updates, that is regularly once a week. A mail is sent out with some kind of a update. We do different kinds of quality certifications. So by the way, Nandan is ISO 9001, 14001 and 45001 certified. We are on our way to do our aerospace standards, AS 9100D. So from there, we do the QC testing is all done. Minimum to minimum 20 times we operate the equipment and deliver it. And finally, we do the commissioning and installation and handover. So this process is what Nandan is strongly known for all around India. And also we've today exported it in 25 countries. So like I said, this example of the, customers actual case study, like I said, due to NDAs, unfortunately can't name them, but they had limited space. So initially they were using a ramp, a big long ramp of about, I think it was about maybe 24 feet or 25 feet. It was just kept like that, and people had to push this trolleys or pallet truck up. He also had to do the plastic wrapping around, because otherwise the material would fall when he would push it. And it used to take a lot of time, and a lot of accidents occurred where while pushing it came back on those people and they got injured. So when they contacted us, we gave this solution, and their productivity improved by 43%. These are actual numbers which came from their work study, industrial engineering department. Their accidents went down by 90%. Of course, The remaining 10% was due to human error, nothing to do with the loading, unloading here. And their operational cost went down by 26% because they were able to, do the better rates with the transporters, because now the transporters would know that instead of waiting there for 4 or 5 hours, in a matter of half an hour, the trucks get loaded. So yes, Gajananji, I'll come to the question answers at the end. For the rest of you, feel free to just write in the chat so that I can track back and catch up all the questions and take them in the way it is asked, whoever wishes to ask, that is. And then we take it on. Today, they've showcased this to their European partners. They were very impressed that this is the right way to utilize manpower. Just because we are a country with a lot of people, and just because we hear about unemployment and whatnot, doesn't mean that we need to use people like donkeys. We need to use people like, in a better manner. In one of the companies, when we were doing this, I had a, case where the union almost went into a strike because they felt that the equipment coming will make them lose jobs. We of course delivered because we are concerned with management. We delivered, we spoke to them, we explained to them how their work will improve and how the factory will get better. So the customer will get more work, so they will not lose their jobs, which was actually true. So 6 months later, when I did tell them that I'm coming, this union leader comes to me with a box of sweets. So my first thought was, साले ने उसमें जहर तो नहीं मिलाया? Or to like put it up in English, I hope it is not poison that he's giving it to me there. Then with a big broad smile, he tells me, sir, please have this. I was like, why is that? So he's like, when in the family, he was talking to his family about what he's doing and all that. And when he explained that, this new machine has come in and now they're operating it, their own health is in a much better condition now and all that. So he said, oh, that's terrific. I used to think that my father is a Hamal, but now I know that my father is an equipment operator. So in that empowerment, I felt so good. It was one of, the happiest moments in my life, causing the empowerment for the customers. And that's everything that Nandan really, really, lives for, to get it done. So like I promised that I will complete it definitely before time. I stuck to my promise. I always leave extra time for my customers or my stakeholders. So question and answers is what this is all about. So do contact us on sales@nandan.co.in. We have a terrific, team Nandan of more than 250 people. This is made in factories in Navi Mumbai, Khopoli, and we are able to deliver it all around. I have a dedicated service team that comes to you, solves all your problem, whether it is in warranty, out of warranty, or sometimes even others' equipments. So we do get called quite a lot to help repair other equipment that they've got, even if it is a foreign one. And that's like, summary of what we do. So thank you very much for the attention that you paid. And now I'm just like, taking up question answers. So I got a question from Mr. Gajanan saying he wants to unload a 15-ton container with gunny bags. Each one weighs 75 for a food processing units, and then they need to be unloaded and stacked, your height of almost about 8-10 levels. So this is a very interesting use case. So there is a product called a telescopic conveyor. So telescopic conveyor is useful because it enters into a truck and you don't need to lift it. You can unload those bags in a better manner. And let me just pull up my screen once again. Yeah. So the good part is that you can definitely go to our website, nandan.co.in, and there is a section there called industries and another section called products. So within the products, you see in a very customized manner, all the products that are, important and useful for you will all be there in one place. So this is a product called the telescopic conveyor, which will enter into the truck. And after entering into the truck, you can have a man standing it. So this is the where that operator come Hamal came into the picture in a cement industry, that too. So this way you're able to take the container in, and then you have the other one where you can stack it up. So the conveyor itself So it will be like compacted, closed like this. And when it opens, after the truck comes in, it extends out as well as it raises in the height because it's hydraulically adjustable. And then it can go out. This is, of course, for a different use case where each rim is about 150 kgs. And they were, unloading it using that. So in a similar manner, like you can see here, you just load it at one end, it comes out at the other end. So in a similar manner for all kinds of trucks, all kinds of containers, all kinds of stuff, we do have this, conveyor, that telescopic conveyor that can get done. My team will just definitely get back to you, Gajananji. Ashish Apte says, for bulk container cargo, does it also work for grains and salt? Of course. So the the container tilter that exists is basically depends on the, like this. It depends on the container. Now the container is very standard. It's an ISO container. So the same 20 feet, 40 feet containers are used all over the world. You can use it for grains, salt, cement, CP coke, minerals, as well as any dry material that is free flowing. You can also connect this to a tank tainer because you do have these ISO containers which are containing liquids. You can also use them for that and use gravity to flow it out. But most of them in India do use a vacuum pump. So you might not really need to do that. But here, simple math, if one gunny bag is like, costing you, if like one gunny bag, let's say cost you 23 rupees and it only takes like, let's say even 50 kgs and you're loading 25 tons. So you're going to have 1150 gunny bags in one truck and 23 rupees. This is the cost of packaging that you're going to go in one container only. If you're loading 5 containers a day and you're working 20 days a week, you're looking at about 26 lakh rupees that you're spending on packaging in the month. End of the day, whether you spend or customer spends, it's one and the same. Into 12, you're looking at 3.17 crores. So that's how much money is going into wastage. And that is purely what is Muda. So that Muda, which is like, what you save is the value addition that, you can get. So every industry that you belong to, if you look up on our website, so nandan.co.in, it's very simple to do. Every industry that we work in is all here. And like, let's say even coal and minerals is what, one of the questions was asked. You will come to know what are the different products that are used for the coal and minerals. And a lot of them do have videos in that. You can get deeper and find that out, right? You can see the videos. The same video I showed you is also listed out here. There is a WhatsApp as well as there is a chatbot which exists here. We are trying to come out with a AI chatbot very soon. And once that gets done, you can, like here, you can actually ask live questions and my people will answer them back to you. If not, call you back. We will immediately contact you because we believe what matters is what the customer wants to buy, not what I want to sell. So we first would like to listen to your requirements, to your solutions, whatever you need, what is your problem, what are you wanting to do out as an improvement pointer, and based on that, we will come with a solution. Nandan is a 32-year-old company, and we look to take it on for the next decade, maybe next couple of decades, as it is with the growing of India that happens. My name is Dr. Raghunandan Jagdish, to be precise. I am the managing director and key custodian of Team Nandan. We have a brilliant team who's there to be, catering for you, right from pre-sales to sales, production, delivery, and service, all of them. So I think from my side, I have said I'm waiting for some questions.
Hello, Raghunandanji, am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you, Gajanan.
Yeah, hi. So I wanted to ask, the question continuing to what I had asked is now we have about 11 people unloading a container of 15 tons, and it comes in gunny bags of about 75 kgs each. So
Correct.
the telescopic conveyor that you showed, I mean, because these people have to stack it up to a height of about 20 to 25 feet.
Correct.
So 11 people, I mean, I'll tell the cost breakup also. It takes me about 4,000 rupees for unloading a 15 tons container.
Correct.
So, if I use a conveyor, can you just get a little, into details into how many people I might require to
Sure, sure.
unload?
So I get your point. This is we will do we will get in touch with you. I think I do have your contact details. We will get in touch with you. We'll do a study and simulation for you as to how many people you can reduce. The 25 high stacking is not a problem because the height can get adjusted accordingly and the conveyor goes out. So and 75 kg again, we don't want the man to lift it. We only want him to guide it. That's how you'll get the efficiency.
Right. Okay.
But
Okay.
please make sure you contact Gajananji immediately. Where are you based at, sir?
We are based out of Bangalore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bangalore with an M, right?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Good luck.
Uh,
Sorry. Okay. Any questions?
Yes, sir. Actually, there are some questions that we had at the time of registration.
Okay.
So I'll just read out it to
Sure.
them so that you can answer. So Mr. Arun Kumar Gupta, he asked, is there any how to cater in a local area which is small consignment? So basically, I think what he's asking is how to have how to have these material handling equipments in an area which is small. So that is his question basically.
Okay. So I think the first and most important thing you can do for a small confined area is to make aisle spaces. So within your own factory, an aisle is typically 1 meter wide. So demarcate a 1 meter wide spot so that there should be no material kept on it. However small your factory is, that is the number one zone at which you should really work at, because that will help you to improve the movement of the goods. Because if you don't have space to move, you really can't do anything. I'll show you an example again of the aisles. Oops, sorry. Is my screen visible? Yes. So if they make out, so if you see a factory, this is my own factory, by the way, when we were all jam packed, the movement of material within them was like occupying too much space and time. So what we decided to then do was we decided to convert these into leaving that aisle in between. So we just took epoxy paints which went onto the floor, we put them up, we demarcated out these as absolutely non-working zones, and that improved the productivity like anything, because now you could convert everything into pallets, you can do trolleys, you can do material movement in a much better manner. You don't even need cranes, right? I hope that answers the question. Sangarsh, which other one would you want to put up?
Yes. So I believe that Mr. Dinesh Singh is here with us. He had a question. So if he could come ahead and ask the
Dinesh, do
question.
you want to ask us a question? Okay.
No, everything's answered. It's good.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Lovely. So again, like this, we believe that India has, and I've been traveling extensively globally, and we see the respect that Indian companies get from everybody else for the frugal innovation, for wanting to do things at a lower cost, etc. But what they're not very highly talking about is the efficiencies. They say that you use so many people. Like I went to one of my competitors in Germany. In his whole factory, he'll have like maybe 20 people, and they would do the work of what 100 people would do at even Nandan. So the question there is, yes, we will get there very soon. We are going there faster than anybody can ever imagine. 20 years ago, who would imagine that you could do a 3 rupee transaction on a mobile on a QR code, and which is going to be paid for 2 flowers of stuff that you want to buy on the road. We would have not imagined that kind of a future. But I think we have a chance to create the future, and improving efficiencies, reducing wastages. These are the number one things in our hand. And because today to buy a new factory, expand, do capex is more expensive, we believe that if you go vertical up, which is what we also did, I converted my factory, which was 5 floors in height, to 11 floors in height. And then we used some minimum equipment to get that going. And that vertical factory is what we are pushing a lot of our customers also to do, whether it's like people who are doing injection molding, people who are doing warehouses. Just again, giving an example, a warehousing customer used to again stack up these goods one above another, but they decided to make steel mezzanine decks, and we put in a VRC in between, and their efficiency and operations have improved so much that they've almost doubled or tripled their turnover in the same space in a matter of 2 or 3 years. So that empowerment is what gives us a lot of joy, and we would love to do that for each and every one of you. And so now if there are no more questions, just leaving you with that thought saying nandan.co.in is your go-to place for any questions on material handling. Send us an email on sales@nandan.co.in. We'll give you a customized answer back. And whoever has got an operation and you want us to audit for free, please write back on an email to us, and we would be more than glad to do a complimentary audit for you. It's not really free because we are investing the money. So I would say for you, it's complimentary, and you would get a report that is definitely going to add value, and you can save money for your organization. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Sangarsh, on to you.
Yeah. So yes. So thank you everybody for joining this session. You will be getting an email from our side, including the recording of this webinar, along with a feedback form. I hope that everybody who has joined the webinar fills up and it gives us feedback with regards to the webinar that we've conducted. And you can definitely get in touch with us through our website www.nandan.co.in, and we are always available on sales@nandan.co.in. So that's it.